What's up, everybody? My voice is still not back completely, but I don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm thinking it'll be a lot better. I got my tea, so green tea. Somebody who was that? Who gave me a recipe for tea, and I'll get it. I'm going to pick up the ingredients because it's his grandmother's tea recipe. I'm trying that, no doubt. No doubt. But what's up, everybody? How are you? How's everybody doing on this side? Golly, I cannot do that. Yeah, we'll calm down on that. I guess excuse me, good grief. We are going to talk a little bit about some of everything, you know how we do it on here. And I'm just amazed. I saw today, I'm going to bring this in because it was such a blessing that the president had let's see. The president had the children in his office today, and he signed an executive order, and we're going to look at that for a little bit. That'll be one of the first things that we talk about, because it's important that we remember the wonderful things that this man is doing. Now, I'm not worried about all of these detractors, all of these stupid people who are coming from out of every freaking where, trying to throw shade on everything that this man has been doing for, and been attacked for it left and right. Attacked for it. Attacked. Look, what's the alternative? Somebody tell me that. After years and years and years, I lived through Obama. I lived through 8 years of that bastard. I lived through Obama. Okay? Y'all know I call him Slim Slacks. I ain't got time for him. He's a creep. I don't have time for Obama. He is, I've said it before, and I will continue to say it. He is the worst mistake that America ever made. Joe Biden was just a byproduct, and he was always there anyway. He was there during Obama's first and second term. He had 8 years to set up all these so-called little funky ass deals that only benefited his KKK clan. What's up, Random? Oh, do I sound better? Thank you. Girl, you know what? I'll be an advisor to President Trump because they owe us at least 4 years. And people are already, what's up, Misty? I'm doing good, girl. How are you doing? Well, my voice is still not completely back. People are already gearing up. They're looking past Trump until at least 2032. Y'all can kiss my ass. I don't give a shite. Like the president said, when you steal somebody's diamonds, you cannot keep the diamonds. You must give the diamonds back. And you must be held accountable for stealing the diamonds. These bastards stole
the
2020 election.
Freezing on her.
On X and not be immediate.
I downloaded this, but it was freezing on her. She recorded this on X. This is my friend Karen Kennedy. So I mean, we were going to do something else, but ended up pushing that back. All right. So I'm going to play this and some other clips.
Canceled like I was during the time that
So I haven't watched much of this, so I'm watching it right with you.
little troll Jack Dorsey held the reins of Twitter.
I know when you put the fake backgrounds in with the blue screen type thing, it always takes more internet on her part, you know.
Twitter. I'm so glad he's gone. Who knew? Who knew? Sorry, you guys. Who knew 10 years ago that Twitter would become X? Who knew Twitter would be that Jack Dorsey would go away? And Misty said, "Oh no, poor thing." You know what the funny thing is? I was doing a search because I needed to pull that story up, and I didn't have it up on X already. And literally, the story, one of the first things on the search engine said, what was it? I typed in Eric Swallwell, and it said Swallwell thing. I'm like, oh jeez. Oh my God, that is hilarious. Yes, and all the Dems and rhinos going to be held accountable for stealing our election. That's coming. You can't take the diamonds like that and just get away with it. I'm gonna tell you what I want for these individuals. Oh, you ain't gotta throw them in prison.
Oh, the freezing was when she recorded it. So sorry about that. I'm not sure exactly if I should like fast forward it 30 seconds.
Drag them to the front of the congregation.
It's more like a 3/4 second thing,
like they used to back during the old English days. When England, oh my God, England is. I just watched a movie about old London the other day. And God, London was so nasty back in the day. Jesus. Back in the 19th century, 1800s, London.
Hope it doesn't do it too much. What's happening?
It's crazy. But anyway, drag them
Hey,
out
Alan.
into the public square so that people can see them, who they are, and name off exactly what they did to steal this country and put us through hell for 4 years.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing one on J6 thing too. I did find a video on it that's pretty good. I'm going to do that probably tomorrow. Will be part of the show tomorrow. So this is my friend Kennedy. I know it's freezing a little bit early. I think it gets better. I haven't watched the whole thing. I was going to do something on something else, but my guest had to postpone.
Of Biden and Harris. Name them so we can shame them, right? That's what needs to happen. Number one, exposure. We're in the exposure stage now. It's coming drip, drip, drip. But after, I believe, 2026, it's going to be flood. It's going to be flood, and it will be unstoppable.
Yeah, it's starting to look more and more like that blue thing is. At least there's some companies out there that are scamming on that thing.
Remember, Q said back in the day, nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. I still say that. I don't care whether anybody likes Q or not, or subscribes to it. It was an intelligence operation, and it was meant to give us some information that we would never, ever have been privy to before. So
I always took the Q stuff with a grain of salt.
I know people have given up. I get it. To a degree, it's kind of like, nah, I kind of keep it on the DL. But, you just get kind of weary with the days dragging on. And there's just like this little thing over here, and this little thing over here. But see, I think these pieces to this puzzle are coming together. I think when we see Kash Patel making announcements about how the U.S. Marshals and ICE rescued children from sex slavery, okay, from human trafficking, children rescued, and the news stories keep coming out, keep coming out, keep coming out. And this piece kind of goes with that piece. It's like a big puzzle. And we're putting it all together right now. It's not like everything's coming out all at once, because I think it's just too much to handle right now. But the Trump administration knows, up to and including the president himself, that at some point we want scalps. Actually, no, we want scalps now. We want scalps. We want scalps. We want these bastards who have been doing this to us with no.
It's just so much that's been going on. It's hard to keep up with it, and I don't know if they got enough resources to arrest them all and get them all in jail, especially with as much deep state they've got backing them.
No care in the world, no consequences, no nothing. They just kept stealing money. And notice,
and grabbing
it's
power.
Been allowed. It's been allowed. Like
grabbing more control
today, when it was announced that Eric Swallwell was referred to the DOJ for mortgage fraud. So this is the same thing that they did to was it not Lucky Luciano? I'm thinking of Al Capone, where they got him for tax evasion, and then it was just other charges started rolling up into one. This is what they're doing to these politicians. For example, Lisa Cook. I think her case is being heard either next week or it's coming up very soon. Remember, Lisa Cook, that big bitch, she is sits on the governor's board for the Federal Reserve. And remember, she black, and she's a female. So, up until now, she's been untouchable. But see, Lisa, I'm black too. I'm a black woman. And I don't give a shit about you or your title or your DEI or your AKA that you pledged or any of your other little fake accolades that you have just flaunted in front of the American citizens who paid you. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Random is like, oh my God, right now.
Sorry about her internet.
Funny,
I downloaded this.
Lisa Cook, you are the worst. Okay? You had the nerve, the gall to commit mortgage fraud when you are on the Federal Reserve Governor's Board. You set the example. You set monetary policy for American citizens to follow.
I think it gets better.
Oh.
The videos quality.
Excuse me. I must have forgot. Rules for thee, but not for me. I forgot. On that note, I'll have a spot of tea. Do you have your tea? I'm going to have a spot of tea. And no, it's not a hot toddy. I probably wish I should have done that. I just don't drink, so I'm just hot toddy. I probably should at this point. I'm going to put this up, Misty. Thank you for bringing that up. I think there was a live about her an hour ago. I missed it. Not to change the subject, but we need to be a huge voice for Tina Peters. Oh, honey, I've been doing that. We gonna keep it amplified up in here, bitches. We gonna keep it amplified, Democrats. We gonna keep it amplified. Jared Polis in Colorado, you fat, squishy, Squidward-looking loser. We gonna keep Tina Peters amplified. Yeah. According to the Gateway pundit, she's very sick in jail. She needs to be released. Came forward to help expose the cheating of the election, and now she sits. It's hellish. It is hellish. It is evil. It is disgusting. That bitch, Jenna Griswold, that big, fat, stanky Brimalo, she's the one who sat in that courtroom and sneered and snarled and had a smarmy, snarky look on her face while Tina Peters was languishing and knowing that any second she could lose her freedom. She knew what they were doing to her, and she stood her ground. And I pray for that woman. She is a gold star mother. Her son, Remington Peters, served this country honorably. And what does he get? He gets his mother through. God has had
Hey, John.
with Colorado and these losers who have done such horrible, evil things to
John, on that blue thing stuff, it's looking more and more like it's a scam. So she's going to research it more and come back on with me. She was going to do it today, but she wants to wait a few more days to finish researching it.
people. Let me give you some advice there, squishy Jared Polis. You know I can't stand your ass, don't you?
Angela's going to come back
on. Why don't you pretend to be a hero for once in your pathetic existence? Say, oh, in the spirit of Christmas and New Year's and environmental justice, to free up space in the jail, because we know you're a miserable kook. I am releasing Tina Peters immediately. Now, the president has ordered these people to do this already. It was on, if it's Joe Hoff, he's Gateway pundit for sure. It won't let me open it here. Let me see if I can't find it. Because we're going to give some time to Miss Peters. They stole her husband from her. He had dementia and the Alzheimer's, and he was in a nursing home, and they turned him against her and made it seem like she didn't want to be bothered with him, and then she just left him there. They did that woman dirty. Y'all all, everybody, all of y'all who has something to do with this, y'all all going to hell for what you did. You might as well enjoy all the little money you've stolen from us. President Trump this is on his radar. And what pisses me off right now, I know Gold Star widows and Gold Star of America, they have to give the appearance of being nonpartisan. But y'all haven't said nothing about Tina Peters. And y'all know she's a Gold Star mother. I'm a little upset with them because I'm a Gold Star widow. So I don't care what you think about Trump or what they say she did or whatever. Y'all still supposed to support her. She still has a son that was killed in action. You know what? Thank you, Misty, for bringing this up, because now I'm going to go ahead and have something to say to the director, the national director of Gold Star Families, because this is some bullshit right here. I don't care what y'all think of Tina Peters. She has served her country honorably by giving her son in battle, number one. I think it wasn't battle. I think it was like something, it may have been stateside, but I don't give a shit. He was on active duty. He was serving his country honorably. So I don't care. But let me see if I can find it. Gateway pundit, Tina Peters. I usually use the Russian, yeah, I said it, the Russian search engine, because they come up, the search is better. It doesn't censor like the MSN or Microsoft Bing or definitely Google. I don't even bother with Google anymore, because the first 15 pages is a fucking some kind of factcheck.org or Snopes or CNN or MSDNC. I don't want to see that shit. Hold on. This is from 2024. Y'all about to piss me off right now. Y'all about to piss me off. Why isn't this story coming up right now? Hold on. You know what? I'm not going to frustrate myself. I'm going to the Russian, because every time I go to somewhere, I should know this by now. Hold on. Let me find it on the Russian site, because preventing key evidence. Here, let me type in 2025. Hold, please. It's got to be here. It's usually up in the first couple, 2, 3 stories. Oh, here. I'm going to type in November. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you very much. Here, look, we're just going to read this. Let's see. Is this the story? Forbidden. You got to be shitting me. Hold on. Oh. Forbidden? Why is it forbidden for me to see that? That is fucked up. Excuse me. I'm sorry. See, then I start cussing because I get mad. I get mad because y'all can talk about everything else. Hold on. Now, hold on. Okay. I saw this story. This is from the 5th of November. And let me bring this in real quick. Let me see. Headline on the Gateway Pundit. Just in, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche requests Tina Peters be transferred from Colorado State Prison to a Federal Bureau of Prisons facility. So you can read this article. I'm not going to read it because I'm saving my voice. But this talks about how let me see. This talks about how Todd Blanche has put in a request probably to the Bureau of, by the way, there's a Bureau of Prisons office right here in the same building I worked at on the federal campus here in Lakewood, Colorado. So it's right there. The Federal Bureau of Prisons just moved in there like 2 years ago. So that was when I was laid off under Joe Biden, by the way. Joe Biden, not Trump, Biden. The purge started in 2022, just so everybody's keenly aware. So the Trump Justice Department is ramping up its efforts against Colorado to get Tina Peters released from state prison. Now, let me see. I know there's the story. Where the heck is it? You posted it to your, where is, you mean on X? Well, let me see if I can. What's your name on X? Because it might, oh no, it's Misty. Hold on. I will see if I can find it. Wait a minute, did you put it in, hold on. Oh, please. Okay, hold on, post it to your page. Oh, hi, grandbaby. I see your granddaughter's girl, she's so cute. Y'all, her grandbaby's so cute. That was 2024. She's a year old. Oh my God. Okay, here it is. Okay, thank you guys for holding on. Thank you so very much. But you know, we gotta keep shouting out Tina Peters, bro. Because if it was not for her preserving that information, there would be very little proof to show what Dominion and
what's happening, everyone?
These what's the other one? These software.
The lag, it's on her video. I downloaded the recording, so it's a recording that's bad. Yeah, she's going to talk about all these topics. So
voting machine companies.
Eric Swallwell, the
hell, what's the other?
Had the Chinese spy with him.
The other one that they use here in Colorado. I remember when they switched to Dominion. There was the other Secretary of State was in there. He was a loser too. But anyway, let's look at this right quick.
Hey, Pat.
Close, yeah. Show off. Tina Peters needs our help. She is reportedly very sick in prison.
Marianne.
Tina Peters needs our help. An innocent elderly woman should not be in prison on a 9-year sentence for doing her job and protecting election data and records. Do I have to just go in front of the fucking Capitol and start making my own fucking protests in this fucking town, in this state? Is that what I have to do? Is that what?
Now remember, she lives in Colorado. It's a very blue state.
What needs to be done to bring national attention back to this?
Because all those rich Californians got out when they started getting taxed more, and they went in the Denver skiing areas, you know.
Because I've seen illegals who have committed vehicular fucking homicide.
And they brought in a lot of illegals then.
On I-70, had their sentence reduced from 100 years down to 10 years because of the white liberal establishment in the state of Colorado. They couldn't stand, oh my God, that poor illegal. Oh no, he has a family and they all illegal too. We can't do that to the poor illegals. You see how these white liberals, do you see how they drag themselves around to protect illegal aliens in the state of Colorado and across the country? Do you see how they follow ICE agents around? Do you see how they go every length possible on planet Earth? They throw themselves in front of cars. They're
doing it just about everywhere too. And the judges there in Colorado are trying to stop them from sending any illegals back, even though the illegals took over apartment buildings and were holding, making people pay them rent instead of the owners of the buildings.
Themselves to buildings. They are willing.
It was the cartel types of the gangs
to stalk federal officers to prevent them from deporting illegal alien murderers, rapists, and child traffickers, bro. But this beautiful woman here, this beautiful woman of God, is sitting in prison for something that Jenna Griswold, the Secretary of State, did 10 times over.
I believe she's like 70.
And she found that she did nothing wrong. I was in the court when that shit happened because she was sued by the Libertarian Party here in Colorado. This state, I swear, is full of demons.
Okay, Pat.
You got to be prayed up to live out here.
Later.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah, I believe she's 70 and she's got some health issues and stuff like that, and they still won't let her out. It's a state thing. That's why Trump can't pardon her.
I am not kidding. This is like the movie Constantine, where the demons are roaming around and they're not authorized to be here. But let me read, because I get emotional about this. They protect illegals with their very lives. But, let's just not even bring up Tina Peters.
I believe.
Her son was a Navy SEAL. Okay? Elite military forces. Okay? She's a cancer survivor and a whistleblower. She actually, what she did was she did her job. She did her job. She preserved information that the Secretary of State's office was just getting ready to do what's called a trusted build. They were getting ready to go into the fucking machines and erase everything, even though it was not time to erase the information. And they were going to replace it with what they wanted to be seen. But Tina Peters caught images of it before they could erase it, and they threw her in prison. That's the long and short of it. All the background noise and who did what and who has said who did, I don't care. I don't care. There is information that she preserved that absolutely proves election fraud of the Colorado state officials of the highest ranks in this state. That's why she's in prison for 9 years. They want it to be a death sentence. And that ugly judge, that white liberal freak, creepazoid judge up in at the Capitol, excoriated her, made her feel like she was nothing. But I've seen how judges treat illegals. Oh, you poor. Oh, well, we want to make sure that you get your everything that you need.
All the free stuff.
I can't stand these people. I don't know if you can tell. So this is what's been happening. And I didn't even know we were going in this direction, but thank you, Misty. So, if you get a chance, go ahead and read this. They indicted her on multiple charges.
They want to scare other people from ever trying to do it.
You know what? Wow. I'm getting mad again. I'm getting mad. Hold on. I'm getting fighting mad. So anyway, I'm going to say that. Thank you, Misty, for reminding me how pissed off and angry I am every day of my life, and reminds me why I do what I do. Why I do what I do. Okay? Because we are supposed to protect each other. And we are supposed to be the voice for the innocent. And I can show you story at Smartmatic. That's it. Thank you, Misty. That's it. That's the other one. Which one? Aren't they Serbian? 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 Why do we have Serbian machines? Serbia? Is that still a country? It's so fucking weird, dude. But Todd Blanche has requested, which they're going to have to let that woman go because she's being mistreated here in Colorado and they know it and they don't give a shit. They're hoping that if they deprive her of her medications and if they just treat her like shit long enough, then she'll just die in prison and then they won't have to worry about it.
Yeah, if she gets out, she's going to talk.
But yeah, Gateway Pundits, excellent source to go to. Joe Hoft, Jim Hoft. I really wish
Oh, Karen? No.
Oh, help me, Jesus.
Oh, you mean Peters?
Andrew Breitbart could have been here to see all this right now. But they got rid of him, so you know how they do. Motherfuckers. So back to this news.
My friend Karen's very hoarse right now. She's been sick.
Unreal. Just line everybody up and shoot them if they could. They have no use for us. What did I show you the other day? What did I show you in Colorado? What did I show you? Let me remind you what they think of American citizens. Let me remind you. Screw you. That's what they think of American citizens. This is in Colorado, the office of the New Americans. They don't give a shite about us. They don't care about Tina Peters.
The New Americans are illegals they're bringing in.
They don't care about us. They care about refugee services and immigrant services.
Yeah, she wears very big eyelashes.
And committees, and they're all about immigrants and illegals. Precious.
She was in the service, as a matter of fact, as well.
Illegals. Look at this. Benefit Recovery Fund. Applications now open. So you're harboring fugitives and you're giving them aid and comfort. Got it.
This is to illegals.
The Benefit Recovery Fund provides.
That's for illegals. They're trying to get more into Colorado.
Provides compensation for eligible illegal aliens who have lost employment through no fault of their own. That means through the Trump administration. And
this fund isn't for Americans. It's only for illegals.
Ending these temporary protected status that they never should have had in the first place. Go home, Hermelinda. Working with New Americans. Oh, wow. Recruiting them, upskilling them, providing them with free training so that they could get good jobs. Because these are what the New Americans, this is what the state of Colorado thinks about us. Screw you. We're going to tax you through the roof. We're going to make it so uncomfortable for you to live here that you're just going to fucking leave. What else we got here?
Well, they also make you homeless and all that kind of stuff.
Request feedback from the New Americans Community Advisory Committee. I think I will. Sure do. I think I will.
Now, she wouldn't take the jab and this and that, and they end up making her homeless because of that. She ended up losing her government job, a state job, and that kind of stuff. And it ended up making her homeless for a while and this and that. She has since recuperated a lot of the money for that. But now she's got a place to live in that.
Well, thank you for asking. Colorado Migrant Welcome Guide. Wow. This welcome packet is intended to assist asylum
Asylum seekers.
seekers, illegals who do not yet have an immigration legal status, but are intending to call Colorado home. It's harboring a fugitive. Bastards. The Office of the New Americans. I will continue to bring this up.
Now remember, all this is being paid for with taxpayer money, your dollars.
So treat them like gold and treat Tina Peters like Al Qaeda. Got it. Got it. Got it. Also, why is it in English? Oh, no, they got it in like 20 other languages, honey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, they make sure them illegals don't miss a beat. Your mom, a shot of whiskey may help the voice. Really? Okay, I don't know what kind of whiskey. I don't.
Her internet connection wasn't that great when she recorded this. Actually, it works better when she uses her phone and she's outside. So the Wi-Fi there isn't very good.
Drink, but if I can get rid of this, I will be better. Let me tell you, because this is driving me up the wall.
Yeah, their voice doesn't quite sound like this.
You said Road Mad Hatter, Random Mad Hatter. Your mom is on Social Security. Can't get any help. Oh, remember they were giving Social Security to illegals? Remember that? Before our darling Elon Musk. He's so socially awkward and cute. It cracks me up, dude. It cracks me up. I just watch him and go, do you
Sorry about that.
even know how to be around people, honey? You so cute. Where's the little baby? Where's little X? He's the cutest little thing ever. Oh my gosh, he is so cute. Little X is so cute. He is just a doll. Oh my gosh. But you remember how DOJ exposed the Social Security? They were giving these individuals the full maximum amount possible in Social Security that they never ever paid into, not even once. Unfreaking believable. Don't you wish you could sit down with President Trump and actually tell him all the things we need to tell him and all of the things? Yes. 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 I wouldn't want to overwhelm him because he's a very busy man, but I would certainly, if I sitting down with him, that's just, I've been praying about that. And I totally believe that I'm going to have the opportunity to do that. So y'all pray for me, because I will have like the top thing that's really top of mind for us, because I don't think he always gets the best advice from the people who surround him. Because you got to remember, a lot of these people, they've been in DC for so long, they're kind of disconnected too. So, we live in the community, so we got our finger on the pulse of the community. We know what people, the kitchen table issues and things of that sort. I'm really good at that. And I'm, when I make posts and I tag him in it and I tag Caroline Levitt, I'm going to keep myself in front of them. And I'm telling you, one of these days, they're going to see what I've been doing. Because I'm doing what I'm doing on my own. I ain't got time for the Colorado GOP. They're out of their minds, dude. I haven't had a chance to sit down and talk with the head of the GOP, but I don't want to be caught up in anybody's bullshit. I just want to get things done. That's all. I don't care about all this bickering and infighting. I just want to get things done. Yeah, no, I don't know, Misty. Maybe. It's crazy. Let's talk about Eric Swallwell for a minute before we get back into the president, the good stuff. Let's talk about that. Yeah, Eric Swallwell, or not so well, reportedly referred to DOJ over alleged mortgage fraud. Democratic California rep, or so he says, Eric Swallwell was slapped with a criminal referral over alleged mortgage fraud. Mortgage and tax fraud. Interesting.
A lot of Democrats say that mortgage
Federal
fraud
Housing
stuff.
Finance Authority, FHFA, Director Bill Pulte claimed in a Wednesday letter sent to Attorney General Pam Bondi, excuse me, that Swallwell may have made false or
All the
misleading
Democrats
statements
are doing the
in
mortgage
loan
fraud.
documents involving the purchase of the Washington, D.C. house. NBC first reported, citing an anonymous source. Additionally, FHFA's acting inspector general is also probing the mortgage fraud allegations. Same anonymous source told the outlet. So, what it is basically, you can go back and read this. This is Daily Caller, but it's all over the news now. Eric Swallwell says he
she's deliberately mispronouncing his
represents
name.
the California district so he can have that congressional seat, but he doesn't have a residence in California at all. What? What? Interesting. They raped Lauren Boebert here in Colorado, raped her over the coals over bagging because she moved to CD4 or District 4 to be a congressional representative. So she moved over to District 4 so that she could, because that was an easier seat to win.
Well, they redistricted her to try to.
They raked her over
district
the
her
coals
out.
for that shit. I mean, even from the right and the left, they wouldn't shut up about it. But Eric Swallwell can just not even live in the state he claims to represent. And he'll claim to be the victim. Next, he gonna say, oh, they targeted me because I'm black. I'm waiting for that. I don't know. He has been looking like he's spending a lot of time around Shaquisha Bonquavius, Alizé Jenkins, Jasmine Crockett.
Okay.
They make videos together. They sit there.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I don't know. Maybe he dipping
John
in the chocolate.
Marianne.
Maybe he is dipping in the chocolate. You might want to check that out, Miss.
I'm hearing this with
Mrs.
you.
Swallwell.
She's a good friend of mine.
Because if he dipping in the chocolate, bitch, you
doing
cancel.
She is a good patriot.
You ain't going back to your
Wish she had a
ugly,
little
funny
better
looking,
internet
pale
connection.
ass.
I know that background isn't her background. That's one of those fake ones you put up, like a blue screen, and it takes a lot more internet data when you're doing that, and that's part of the reason why it's acting like it is.
And Jasmine Crockett,
I downloaded
that
this.
bitch can gain like 40
It was on the
pounds.
recording end.
You see her? You see her just the other day standing there with an ugly fat drag queen talking about, oh, you know how MAGA women, you know that look they got, they all got lip injections. Bitch, I ain't got no lip injections. I ain't got no lip injections, you big brimalo hoe. I ain't got no lip. What? I don't need no lip injections. These are factory originals. This is my mom and my daddy, bitch. Talk to me about no. And yes, I'm a proud MAGA woman, honey. And even if I did want to have work done, baby, that's my choice. Remember, liberals? Remember, my body, my choice. Remember? Y'all been drilling that into our heads concerning abortion for decades. Yeah, remember? Remember? Mhm. But yeah, Jasmine Crockett looked like a big ass hot mess. And why she got that funny looking boo boo braid on top of her head? What is going on? They're trying to rebrand her. They don't know what to do with her. See, they had her with different hairstyles for like a couple of 3 months, 4 months, and they tried to rebrand her because so many people were calling her out for being ghetto. So they tried to rebrand her and make her have more refined speech and tamer hair and not so combative. But now she's just gone back to being ridiculous and don't nobody know what the hell that entity is on top of her head. Mhm, mhm. So, oh my God, that tea is good. It's good. Celestial Seasonings, you know that? You know Celestial Seasonings is right here in Boulder, right? I can't go to Boulder without having a panic attack. It's not as bad as it was before, but Boulder is so liberal. I literally used to have panic attacks when I went there. Like I would just start because you can just feel the liberalism. Like it's so many liberals. Mighty funny. It's like 95% white, rich, uh, uh, over college educated, credential class white liberals. Oh, but they care so much about
She does
darkies.
know, Marianne.
Oh, save the black folks. Oh, we love darkies. We just don't want your black ass living here. That's all. And they will. You are everybody, unless you bought a house there in like 1980 when Mork and Mindy was still on.
She's just like this when you talk to her in person. Well, I don't talk to her in person. I talk to her through the internet, but when I've had her on and stuff too, she this is her personality. Although her voice is different right now. She's very hoarse.
You ain't moving to Boulder. Sorry, you're not living in Boulder. You might get a tiny discount if you're a student and you go to CU, Colorado University.
It's real expensive to live there.
Otherwise, forget it. I have gone live on TikTok. Um, um, I do have a here's my TikTok handle just for whatever. What is it? Ah, hell, I forgot. But
She's older
DM
than
me,
you think.
Misty, and I'll find it. But
Yep, Charles.
I do go live on there
Jasmine.
every once in a while. I try to keep it light because
She is a hood rat.
I'm on like my fourth account. Oh, did you? Oh, right on.
What do you think about Jasmine Crockett there running against Cruz, trying to upset him in Texas? I know that there's a lot more Muslims there now, and they'll vote for her.
Yeah, did I follow you back? If not, it's just because I'm not on
But they're voting to take down America. They want to ruin America.
there that much. But I'm gonna do a live on TikTok at least a couple of 3 times a week. Because you do get a lot of reach there as well. I see a lot of TikTok videos showing up on big accounts
They are
on
groomed.
X, like Wall Street Apes or my dog. I mean, therefore I am.
Marianne, do you think Jasmine Crockett was picked to take that seat originally by the left?
That's my girl right there. She's funny. She cracks me up. We talk sometimes. Not yet. Okay, I'll make sure I do. Is it the same Misty? I'll find you.
Yeah, she's originally from Missouri, from a wealthy family, and moved there. So
Yeah, Eric Swallows. Well, here's a couple more news items. We're gonna just rapid fire now. Rapid fire.
100%, Marianne. Don't give them up.
Christy
Okay,
Nong
good.
announces $10,000 bonus checks for some TSA workers impacted by government shutdown. Let's hear what the beautiful Kristi Noem has
Developing
to
over
say.
the last 20 minutes or so. Bonus checks for TSA workers who went without pay during the longest government shutdown in U.S. history.
Hey, Mr. Fixer.
Big bonuses. That's the big announcement we just heard from Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. She's at Houston's George Bush Airport highlighting the work of those TSA workers. Here's a listen.
So today we are announcing that we are going to be handing out bonus checks of $10,000 to TSOs, to agents who work for TSA who served with exemplary service.
That's a pretty piece of change there, really. As an extra check on top of your regular check.
And what that means is that we are going to not only continue their paychecks like they should have received all along, but also they're going to get a bonus check for stepping up, taking on extra shifts, for showing up each and every day, for serving the American people, and
I'm sure some judge will probably try to step in and stop it.
Taking seriously the mission that the Department of Homeland Security takes seriously, and that they.
So remember, President Trump said he would do this. He also said he would dock some pay. CBS News reporter Shauna Mizell is live in Houston. So Shauna, what else did we hear from Secretary Noem?
Well, you wouldn't think you'd pick someone like AOC, as dumb as she is, you know? It doesn't make any sense. But then again, they had Kamala Harris. Anyone they can control.
That's right, Reed. Secretary Noem just left this podium a few moments ago, making that major announcement that TSA workers will receive $10,000 in a bonus check. But this is going to be just for workers who went above and beyond. She cited the ones who did exemplary service during the shutdown, coming in without pay for more than a month, and some of them even filling in on extra.
Yeah, I need
shifts.
one too.
Now
Mr. Fixer. I definitely could use one.
We also heard from the secretary on when these workers would receive.
I know there was some pressure from the left to keep them from working. I know there was some pressure happening. They were trying to get them to not work so that they would shut down the airlines, which they were starting to do a little bit. They were doing everything to take down Trump and blame it on him.
For actual paychecks, a lot of that back pay that they have gone months without receiving. And she said that the Department of Homeland Security actually did all of the paperwork last night to ensure that TSA workers across the country will begin to see those back paychecks in their bank accounts in the next few days.
All right, Shauna Mizell, a lot of people really happy about that in Houston. Good to talk to you there in the great state of Texas.
We
also,
won.
this news.
We won. Once again, we won. We won. What does that mean? President Trump, as he mentioned, for those who came to work, who didn't call in sick, like the air traffic controllers.
Kaki Hochul here in New York is giving out $200 checks here because it's election time. So I guess we're supposed to get one. I haven't seen it yet, but we'll see.
With their Trump derangement syndrome, posting shit on Blue Sky and posting shit on your little Facebook page about how you haven't been paid and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. You don't get no bonus.
Take like $1,000 from you so they can give you a check back later at $200 is what they're doing.
Matter of fact, you might not be able to keep your damn job. That's what you get, bitches. And the people who came to work, who showed up every single day, who didn't complain,
sorry about it, pleasing.
Who worked extra shifts to cover because of the ones who called in sick every day because they wasn't getting paid. Now, you're going to get your little funky ass back pay. But the ones who showed up, the ones who came to work and didn't complain and didn't make the work environment challenging for everyone around them, they quietly just did the job that they were hired to do. Yeah, they're going to get even more money in addition to their month of
Marianne, are you in New York?
Back pay. They're going to get an additional $10,000. So maybe, I know I see a lot of these TSA agents are Black. Maybe you should have stayed your Black ass on your job instead of complaining about President Trump. Because guess what?
Yeah.
Kamala Harris.
The interest rates, they've still got them way too high. And it's keeping people from buying homes and business startups and everything.
Who is not Black. She is Indian. She wouldn't have gave you.
The other thing that's happening is banks lend money between themselves back and forth. And That's costing us money.
Shit. You wouldn't have got nothing. You wouldn't have got nothing.
Oh, Wisconsin.
Wouldn't even
So they're not giving out money in Wisconsin, huh? Tampon Tim.
conceive of coming up with a bonus. They would be like, yeah, you better be glad you still got a job now. Shut the
No,
hell up.
Tampon Tim's Minnesota, isn't he? Is he Wisconsin or Minnesota? Someone in the chat,
Unbelievable.
let me
All
know.
right. Excellent story. Excellent
Somewhere up
story.
there.
Rapid fire. Oh, here's something interesting I found the other day. Headline on the Western Journal. Report Obama's HHS, I used to work for them, and the CDC, yeah, placed children with human traffickers. Media dead silent. That was in 2018.
18.
That was in 2018. And the story is coming back to haunt his skinny old ass. You see his hair, how gray it is? Yeah, we
She's
got to
not an
stay
Obama
reminded of how useless the Obama-Biden administration really was. Yeah, I'm keeping that story too. This is kind of a story that we need to refer to often. Unfucking believable. Oh yeah, what else we got? What else we got here? No. Sorry. Hold, please. Now let me find the story where, there it is. Let's bring this in to round out this show. This is posted by Margot Martin, 47 on X. POTUS and FLOTUS sign an executive order fostering our future to expand access to mentorships, scholarships, technology, and workforce training for youth who have been in the foster care system. Not illegals, American children. This is my president.
It's a place in Wisconsin.
Ready, everybody?
Yep.
This is it. Too late to change everything. Should we sign it?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Look at my first lady.
We sign this? Good.
Look how beautiful she is.
Hey, Angela.
These are some foster kids back here.
Angela, they want you to come back on. They wanted to talk about that blue stuff. So you gather some more info and we'll come on later this week, okay? Angela?
Love it. Love, 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 love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. My first love.
Everyone, go follow a friend, Angela here. She's kind of new to Winkin and that. Definitely, she'll learn a lot back and forth from you and from her.
Lady is spearheading this new fostering our future effort to assist foster children who have been in the system for years. For whatever reason, they're not with their birth mother and birth father, but they are going to be able to have more access to job training, career training, mentorships, technology like STEM to get them prepared for for a brighter future, so that they can get beyond the horrible past that they had to experience. So when they graduate out of the system, when they're over 18, the money stops coming in. So my first lady, it was on her heart to start this program called Fostering Our Future. And they want to make fun of her. They want to talk shit about my first lady. Don't do it in front of me, because I'll cut you to ribbons. I'll cut you down.
She means figuratively, not physically.
Not going to tolerate it. That woman has a heart of gold. She is just gorgeous. You can tell. She doesn't get caught up in all this political crap. The first lady has been sending letters to President Vladimir Putin to have people released, children released from Russia to return to Ukraine, I believe it was, so that they could be with their families. She's just an amazing, amazing woman. And these liberals are so jealous because they're ugly on the inside and it resonates out. And she's just doing all these wonderful things for the world because she loves children. She had one child of her own, and that was Barron. And she poured all of her love into her son. And he's an amazing kid. And so that happened today. And Brother Terrence Williams was there. And he was invited because he grew up in the foster care system. And they invited him to be there to be part of the festivities. And I think that's just absolutely wonderful. He is so grateful, and he has come just up. How do you come from being a dude on YouTube eating fried chicken, supporting Trump back in 2016, to visiting the White House, going to Mar-a-Lago all the time, being invited to the parties that are just absolutely the talk of the town? He started his own company. He's an entrepreneur now. Look up his products. I think it's Cousin T's pancake mix or whatever. I think that's what it is. So he's an entrepreneur. He went from a kid in the foster care system to an entrepreneurial success in the United States. And he is another show of proof that we don't need a bunch of illegal aliens here just stealing our resources. They've never paid anything into this country, never paid anything into the system. All they do is take, and they think that we owe them. Let's check in on Mexico while we're here, because remember, I've been finding these videos of Mexico and how now Mexico is overrun with illegal aliens from Venezuela and Honduras and El Salvador and Colombia and Brazil and everywhere else. And they don't want them. They tell them, we don't have no money for you. Unfreaking real. Unfreaking real. Hold on. Let me find one. Oh, let's do this one.
Oh, it's freezing. Oh, there. Oh, she's not talking. That's all. It isn't freezing.
So here is something that was posted by this guy, Tio Liberal, about U.S. evicts migrants sleeping in airports. Let's see what's going on with that, since we haven't talked about this in a hot minute. There's so much other news, but we got to keep up with what's going on with the illegals.
Here's the scope. Look, they have someone detained over there. Right? I'm really scared. I'm hiding under this chair. I hope they don't see me or they'll send me to Guatemala right away.
You supposed to be, oh my God, don't start me on these fucking illegals, dude. I'll go off. I will go off. Hold on. Shut up, fatty.
Guatemala right away.
Get out.
4
Get
rooms,
your fat ass
polos,
out of here.
full of inadmissible migrants and asylum seekers. The images of the overcrowding are impressive. Look at that. They're on the floor where they can fit them in. In a coordinated operation that has rocked the terminals of several key airports, the United States government has begun massive raids to evict thousands of migrants who have turned these spaces into makeshift shelters.
Get out of here because I honestly can't.
From Boston to Chicago, federal and local authorities have acted firmly, expelling groups who had been sleeping on floors, in hallways, and in departure lounges for weeks or even months.
Sleeping on the floor of Logan International Airport, as more people continue to arrive and use the facilities as shelter.
Daniel Porras Media is my full name now. I'm from Venezuela. I'm an asylum seeker, and I'm sleeping in Terminal 4 for the time being. Yeah.
Ooh, y'all get on my nerves already. Y'all get on my nerves. So, anyway.
It's her screen.
This was happening during the Biden administration. So, I'm not sure if that's some of that is happening now, because I tend to think they are not going anywhere near the airport.
That's her screen.
Oh, interesting. Here, I like this guy. Cash Jordan does some really great videos. He used to do a lot of on location videos in New York City, but I haven't seen him in a while. So,
okay.
If you haven't watched him on YouTube, check out Cash Jordan.
I like SU Syracuse, although they're terrible this year. They've been terrible for a while.
Let me bring it in.
They used to have good basketball. Okay, football.
Check it out. Cash Jordan in New York.
Panicked New Yorkers are fleeing in droves now that Mamdani is mayor.
The election of Zohran Mamdani as New York City mayor already sparking an exodus out of New York, even before he's sworn in. Florida's real estate market reportedly seeing a reported $100 million boom as wealthy New Yorkers look to escape higher taxes and other promised socialist policies.
Are wealthy people going to leave New York if Mamdani wins? No, they're not going to leave.
Really?
Well, I used to play a lot of sports
because of higher taxes. Well, if I didn't want to be taxed, that's what I'd be saying too. But it's not true. Why not?
So they
Two
want to
simple
be
reasons.
taxed?
First, most wealthy people are wealthy because they own assets like land, buildings, companies, penthouse apartments. If those assets are in New York City, they're staying in New York City. You can't move a building. And moving your whole company and your family just to avoid a 2% income tax, not going to happen.
Really?
Stop right there, genius. So
it's already too high.
A wealthy person? Do you really think a single penthouse apartment in New York City is bought under someone's name?
Yeah, they own like 10 penthouses.
No one buys the land for their name or buildings. Right. It's all done from trust and LLCs. And nothing will stop a person change tax filing status to Florida or Texas. Building will still be in New York City, but taxes are not going to go to New York City.
People are leaving now because they have trust issues with the new mayor.
They hate a politician they can't trust.
On the subject of trust, you've adopted different speaking accents in different scenarios.
Oh, really?
They go to their local bodega.
Is there one that's real and one that's affected?
What I would say is, as any immigrant knows, having been born in Kampala, Uganda, and then
sadly rigged, Mr. Fixer, and it's turning out that some refs have been bought off too. Look at the game between Kansas City and football in Kansas City and the Bills there with the spotting of the ball and all that kind of stuff. Bills should have won that game and gone to the Super Bowl and then lost it in the Super Bowl.
Smiling, 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 smiling communist. He's going to smile your ass right to broke the skid row.
Marianne, I used to pitch slow pitch softball women's. I did the men's until I got too old to play. And then I coached the women's, and we went to worlds and stuff like that. Never got higher than third in the worlds. We did win nationals and stuff.
He gonna smile you right to skid row.
Raised in South Africa and moving here when I'm 7 years old. Is there different parts of my life?
Worldwide tour is a worldwide tour is a worldwide tour.
That's his voice?
Mamdani was talking about a worldwide press tour back when he was a rapper in a Disney movie directed by his mother.
Nepotism and hard work goes a long way. Here in New York City, this is how I speak. This is how I am.
Do you believe in the First Amendment, Tom Holman?
I don't know. Oh, man. That's a little suspicious, don't you think?
The country of Uganda, every single year, always places in the top 10, 20 worst countries on planet Earth for their lack of civil rights. They have no freedom of speech. They've got no freedom of expression. They have no protections for their LGBTQ communities. The World Economic Forum and every other international association doesn't even send Uganda money anymore because every time they do, it magically disappears into the shadow of corruption, all right? Simultaneously, we've got someone running for mayor of New York City who is from Uganda. But instead of coming here and expressing a shred of gratitude or recognizing that America is his last safe harbor, protecting him from what would have been a life of oppression and discrimination in his home country, does nothing but criticize America. He criticizes our society, our institutions, our culture. He stands antithetical to pretty much everything America stands for. And why is this a critical nuance vis-a-vis the rest of the waves of immigration that have come to America? I'll tell you why. Because between the years 1890 and 1954, when something like 20 million European immigrants came to America, they came here because they loved this country. They believed in the American dream. They instilled the American spirit in their children and their grandchildren. They were ready to fight in World War I. They laid down life and limb in World War II. They recognized expressly that America was a light on this globe, saving them from the political unrest, turmoil, and famine of their home countries. Okay,
you got that right, Mr. Fixer.
It's a radical concept. How about we stop letting folks in this country that hate America? And two, why don't we never, ever dream about letting one of them run?
I guess America's the only country in the world where they will let you in if it is your prerogative after you get in to hate on the place.
Check out this video really quick.
Starting on day one, we will expand the city's special enforcement programs, doubling fines for hazardous violations and tripling them for conditions that are immediately dangerous. And when a really bad landlord, like this guy, refuses to fix it, the city's going to step in, make the...
What they want is the government to take over all the land, all the properties, so they can be the ones that control where you live and what you do and this and that. They want control.
Repairs and send them the bill.
Wow.
If that doesn't work, the city's taking over the building.
Oh!
We're putting the worst landlords out of it.
Okay. So now he's talking about taking over the means of production. I'm sorry, that's communism. That's literally communism. That's communism. Taking over the means of production. So he's just gonna start taking over buildings. And see, that's subjective. Because when we'll talk more about this tomorrow, because it gets off into a whole different thing and we're getting kind of at the end of our time. But what he does, it's a scheme. It's a scheme by making the regulations absolutely unachievable. And then you have the rent caps on the apartments in New York City. So the property owners can only charge $1,500, for example, even if the market rent should bring $3,500 a month. So they're going to lose out on that money.
They're also regulating him to death there. They got a lot of rules and regulations so they can drive him out.
Money that's between the $1,500 to $3,500. They're not going to get subsidized for it. So Landlords are not going to make repairs to buildings because they're not going to be able to. Because, see, they still have a mortgage to pay on the building themselves. Okay? So then if you can't pay the jizya, oh, my bad. Oh, excuse me. Did I say that? Did I say jizya? Yeah. That's a fee that you pay to the Muslims if you're not a Muslim for them to allow you to live in their area. Whoopsie. Yeah. So paying for you're not ever going to be able to achieve what this moron is trying to get people to adhere to. It's unattainable. So anyway, what he'll do is just deem every property. You're a slumlord. You're a slumlord. You're a slumlord. You're a slumlord.
And they'll take the
and then he'll just take over the fucking building.
Yep.
That's
exactly
not constitutional. This clown is going to be destroyed in a very short amount of time. Nobody's going to put up with his little whining shit. This is what happens when you put a 34-year-old in charge of the biggest economy in the world, New York City, and he's never had a job before in his entire existence. He's never had a job, never run a company, never had employees.
Marianne, it's exactly what happened on my teams. Who was dating who, this and that, with the lesbians and women's softball. That's a big thing. I agree. It totally happened to us. In fact, we went to the gay Olympics, actually. We had one girl they called straight girl on the team.
Doesn't know what a balance sheet is. Doesn't know what a bottom line is. He doesn't know what projections are. He doesn't know expensing accounts. He knows nothing about running a business. He's going to bankrupt you.
I had the same exact experience all the time. But I was older, and a lot of times they'd end up talking to me about their relationships and all that kind of crap.
New York City.
So this is his plan. He's going to take away the building if the landlord can't afford to make renovations. The city will step in and do it, but then they'll take away the building if the landlord can't afford it. But at the same time, he's doing rent freezes. He's going to freeze rent so landlords can't raise rent. Ooh. So how are they supposed to pay for it? Like if there's a major problem with the apartment complex, how are they supposed to pay for it?
They're not.
And if they can't afford it, and the only
well, they'll come in and fine the landlords too. They're trying to drive them out. They've done this down in where was it? St. Petersburg, where I was working. Then they end up taking it and doing it on auction for $1 to their buddy, and then the piece of property or pieces of crap after that. I mean, actual toilets falling through the floor and everything. They don't make them fix it, but then they'll do a lot to the other ones they're trying to drive out of business.
way that they can is to raise rent. But no, he froze the rent.
Yeah.
Materials are going up, labor is going up. What's going to happen? Oh, they'll pay for it, the city. But then, no, if you can't pay me back, I'm going to take away the building. This is a slow, over time, slow transition into government housing.
Exactly.
What does that sound like?
100%.
The government's going to be owning all these buildings.
Sounds like a problem.
Communism.
And you know something? The government of New York City already owns more apartments than any other government in the United States. And look at what a great job they're doing.
NYCHA says residents have the heat and hot water, although many of them say it is not up to par at this point. NYCHA held a meeting but refused to allow the media
No
in.
media.
This digital calendar lightening my mental load makes it worth every penny.
Right,
I wasn't fully
commercial.
convinced the Skylight calendar would be able to do it until I finally got one.
So why is the media and the public not allowed in a meeting for a night
They're
show?
locking out the news. Look at the door. It's
A
like a
NYCHA
jail.
property manager shutting out the media and tenant advocates who've been fighting for residents of the Mitchell houses. They refuse to give any building updates if cameras and cell phones
That's
were rolling.
ridiculous.
They want to stop y'all because they want to hide what is really going on in this development.
The chimney
Look at
chute
this
above
place.
the boiler room at 205 Alexander Avenue collapsed in early October, 5 weeks
That's
ago.
terrible.
A temporary system has been used to provide heat and hot water to residents, but gas
Look
for
at this.
cooking has not been
Falling
restored.
down.
Several
This
residents
affects
we
her.
spoke to say
they
the
drink too
temporary
much.
heat
They get
is not
drunk too
working
much.
properly.
Government housing.
Look, she's wearing a jacket. She's freezing.
And that's what it's
I'm
on.
so
I don't have no
friends
heat.
with
I don't have no crock pot.
But it was cold in the apartments earlier today, since the morning to about 5:30.
And this has been happening in New York City for years. They've already got more buildings than they know what to do with, and the residents are suffering. These are the worst buildings you could possibly live in, and now the city's going to take more buildings?
There's been a problem like that, seems like every day.
A NYCHA spokesperson said the meeting was not open to the public and media because it was building specific residents. Afterwards, some residents told us that they were told each apartment needs to be tested for asbestos before the gas line running into the apartment can be repaired.
It's going to take years.
In a statement, a NYCHA spokesperson said in part that gas service interruptions and restoration work are a matter of public safety and involve multiple partners and steps.
It's never going to get done.
Another resident who didn't want to be shown on camera says he's living on takeout food since he can't cook on a hot plate.
This is awful.
I'm a teacher.
That's not affordable. If you're ordering all of your food from restaurants.
The other issue is they have tons of rats there. It's insane. Cockroaches, rats, everything.
Because your apartment doesn't work and you can't make food at home, you're not living in an affordable city. Things just got less affordable.
Government housing.
I got enough time.
Things just work.
I'll
And
be
we
right
think
back,
it's a
Mary
good
Ann. I'm gonna show you
idea
something.
to bring this in. This is going to be everybody's apartment here real soon. But what about the idea of making the buses and subways more affordable? What about that idea?
Stop. Like, look at him.
You want to keep charging me like that?
Ain't nobody charge you. You need to go to.
Oh, he's getting in her face.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Ooh.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I want you to try. Come on.
Wow. Ooh.
Like, it's tired of you.
Most people don't even pay to ride the subway anymore. They just avoid it unless they don't care about this kind of thing.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul is casting doubt on Mayor-elect Zora Mamdani's campaign promise to make buses fast and free. The governor speaking to New York One in Puerto Rico over the weekend.
I cannot set forth a plan right now that takes money out of a system that relies on the fares of the buses and the subways. But can we find a path to make it more affordable for people
What's
who
she
need
gonna
help?
do?
Of course we can.
Mamdani stayed on
They
track
already have a
Monday and
reduced
touted
fare
a vision
system.
for the city.
The success of our administration will not only be measured in the questions of the hallmark 3 points of our agenda, but also in the questions of whether public goods are functioning effectively across the city.
A promise many New York riders welcome.
That would be such a big help.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of tough out here.
I think it's going to be great for people. J.C. Polanco, a political expert and professor at the University of Mount St. Vincent in the Bronx, says Mamdani's plan requires clearing a series of hurdles, including safety concerns.
That's the thing.
I'm going to pause it here. I don't know if I can get this close enough. Can you see that, Marianne? That's a bronze medal at the Gay Olympics. So back in 2006, we went to the Gay Olympics in Chicago. It was. Let's see if I can get it a little bit closer. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. Anyways, that was a side note. Let me go back to the...
And people are really afraid that if you allow anybody to get on the bus with no barrier, not even a payment, that there will be increased lawlessness on the bus. I mean, the subway, you just saw fare evasion rampant down there. So most of the people down there that are causing trouble are already riding for free. Do we want the buses to be the same way?
Bus capacity and cost.
He's going to need the support of the MTA and the state legislature, really the governor. Here in New York City now, we have about a $452 million shortfall with the MTA. It's one of the major reasons we have congestion pricing, to make ends meet.
Mamdani estimates the cost of free and fast buses will total.
What a lie that is.
Good grief. This is a freaking disaster. This is a disaster. And they're trying to do it again here in Denver. This bum, same one who brought in all these illegals and gave them everything they wanted. Now, he has posted on X about this. Hold on. This ain't it. This is not it. I want to find it because it's pretty funny that Mike Johnston, who is the so-called mayor in Denver, has this new Vibrant Denver thing that passed.
Yeah, they have it the same year as the regular Olympics. I think 2006. Maybe it's the off year because it was every 2 years. Was it 2008? I forget. Wasn't my idea. They all wanted to go, and I had a real good team that was traveling and playing nationals and worlds or winning nationals and all that kind of stuff. I coached for about 48 years altogether between playing and coaching. I did the women's team for 38 years. I was doing that. But Marianne's right. There's always relationship things, you know. So, anyways, that's a side note. No, I'm not gay myself. I have no part of it. I don't even agree with them. But you believe it or not, about half of them were conservative, though, that were on the teams. The problem is a lot of them drink, and then they end up flirting, and then they have relationship problems. It's awful in terms of that.
That he's he's got this great new idea, right? That he's going to put certain individuals all together in an apartment complex. Here, let me find it so I can show you, and that'll wrap us up. Hold on.
Okay, Dan. Welcome, by the way.
So basically,
I'm still close friends with
what
a lot of them.
Is Libs of TikTok always does a great job with these. So they're going to put a bunch of people together.
Oh, Angela, this is my good friend Karen Kennedy, who's talking. She's been on my show a few times. I hope to get her again. It's hard to get her, though. She gets a ton of messages.
From Vail, Colorado, the little rich white boy from Vail. I'll let him tell you. Hang on, let me bring this in. Sorry. La, 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 la. He couldn't run a lemonade stand.
This is what affordability looks like here in Denver. Today we opened 128 units of affordable housing. Let me show you what this means. This means both workforce housing. So if you are someone that's a teacher, that's a nurse, that's a firefighter, looking for a place to work and a place to live, you can live here. If you're looking for permanent supportive housing, that means you might be someone who's coming out of corrections or.
Hold on. Did you hear what he said? So this dumb fool is putting nurses, firefighters, teachers in the same building with individuals who have just been released from prison and illegals, of course.
Coming out of homelessness and need some support.
Oh, yeah. Homeless fucking drug addicts. This dumb son of a bitch. Hold on. Let's do it over again.
This is what affordability looks like here in Denver. Today we opened 128 units of affordable housing here. Let me show you what this means. This means both workforce housing. So if you are someone that's a teacher, that's a nurse, that's a firefighter, looking for a place to work and a place to live, you can live here. If you're looking for, that means you might be someone who's coming out of corrections or coming out of homelessness and needs some supportive services as well. You can see amazingly built public spaces, beautiful outdoor patio and grill. You got
this dumb bastard. Oh my God. So oh my God. We're gonna deal with this tomorrow because this is just too juicy to We'll talk about this tomorrow. You know, because I have some personal anecdotes to add to that. Random is like, no thanks. So basically, let me set you up with the scenario here. You got a single mother. I hate that term, single mom. I hate it. So you got a single parent who has made.
No, Angela, both her husband and her son, were both in the military, and they both died because of a bomber, actually. One was by the jab, and the other one was a military thing.
Maybe 3 children, a toddler, a 7-year-old, and a 16-year-old girl. Okay.
Sorry about it freezing.
So she moves in.
On the recording.
Down the hall from her is Matt, who just got paroled from prison after being in prison for 8 years. Okay.
Guys,
next door to him,
Chad, I tell you,
is a homeless drug addict named Franklin. In a park.
Sorry about it freezing. I only got 3 minutes left in this. And then I got another video about New York City.
This is what's wrong with Colorado. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. I just can't. I can't. I don't even know what to say after that. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. But do you see how this is going to be
I wish I had a better recording of it, but this is how it came up. It's because of the background thing here where she's doing the blue screen. It always takes so much data with the internet when she recorded it, you know?
Give me your daughter. Give me your daughter. Or the prisoner who's been in Canyon City for 8 fucking years. And he sees you have a cute teenage daughter who goes to school every day. And he's been locked up for 8 years. Yeah. This is going to work out.
I thought this would be something different to bring everybody, you know, and I hadn't watched it all the way yet myself, you know.
No guns. You can't protect yourself when this homeless drug addict kicks your door in and steals and drags your daughter out by her hair and rapes her down the hall. That's great. That's great. Vibrant Denver. That's great. It's just
okay.
Great.
Angela. So maybe I can get her to come on with you sometime, Angela. If you want to come on together.
And
it's hard to get her on.
My mind a little bit of a rest because these are some heavy subjects. But we'll be back tomorrow with more great news.
She's trying to do one every other day.
Anyway,
so.
God bless you. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. I love y'all, and I thank you for spending some time with me and tolerating my voice being kind of half here and half gone.
If you ever actually
really
were to talk to her, she is really good person.
Praying it'll be back tomorrow.
I thought there was a little bit more. We'll see.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, good grief. God bless you too, Random Mad Hatter.
She's been through a lot in her life.
That. It's good to be here. It's good to be here.
People are saying hi to you, Angela.
I felt like
if you want to say hi back.
Shit, let me tell you. But coming back, I'm taking my supplements and
hot tea and honey. I think that works pretty good for
it's fine.
So
take care. Pray for our president, our first lady, and his children, grandchildren. Pray for this nation. Pray for each other. He hears. All right. God bless you. I appreciate you and thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Truly, thank you. I truly appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay. Take care, everyone. All right. Let me I'm going to go on to the next one about New York City. I forgot this guy's name. I see him all the time and I can't think of his name, but he's really good and he's talking about the socialism in New York City. Watch this.
Socialism is in the news. Zoran Mondani did the unthinkable. He was elected to be mayor of New York City, the financial capital, not just of the United States, but of the world at large. And he's a devout socialist. But he has admitted, he likes to deny it, that he's really a communist because he's advocated seizing the means of production. And almost every day a quote from his past comes out that suggests that he's not just a socialist who wants the government to control utilities or housing, but he wants to seize the means of production. That means the industrial base and private property itself. Why is that scary? Because we have a whole generation who have gone through K through 12 and higher education and heard about the glories of statism, socialism, communism in the universities and our school system, but not the merits of capitalism. And it's not really socialism versus capitalism. It is socialism has nothing to offer. And we know that for two reasons. If we look at the contemporary world in the recent past and in the present, everywhere a socialist paradigm has been implemented, it has done two things. It has destroyed.
Does anyone remember what his name is? I can't think of it. I before we went live, I can't think of it. I knew it, but I can't think of it. He's a guest on a lot of people's shows all the time.
The economy and made people poor, and two, it has deprived people of their civil liberties. I should add, it also has created greater inequality, at least in terms of the ruling elite who feel they're not subject to the ramifications of their socialist ideology, and they live a very refined and affluent lifestyle. Take a look, for example, the Soviet Union, when it collapsed, Mao's China collapsed. Cuba is in free fall since the Castro brothers took over in 1959. Venezuela was at one time the wealthiest country in Latin America. It's collapsed. You can ditto the other countries that are collapsing to a lesser extent, Peru, Colombia. Anybody who adopts it, it has not done well. China is doing well, better than it did, because it has an odd mixture of a communist authoritarian government, but it allows free market principles to save the economy from itself. The same thing is true of Putin's Russia. It achieved levels of GDP, oil production that were superior to the communist past just simply because it had elements of a market economy. Some market economy is better than none. Why then, secondly, does socialism fail? It's contrary to human nature. All of us want to be rewarded for our own efforts. We're unique individuals. We don't want to be a like tessera in just one large mosaic. There's a famous anecdote, I have no idea if it's true or not, that when Marx had people and Engels over to their parlor to discuss the principles of socialism in mid-19th century Europe, he had the idea that he'd have a tray of money, and these poor intellectuals would come in. And of course, as you remember from Das Kapital, each according to their own need would be rewarded for their labor. So he said, if you're poor, just take what you need. Well, you know how that would work out humans being what they are. One person or two people or three people would take it all and say that they had greater need than somebody else, even if they didn't, given that there would be no deterrence from being dishonest, as long as you cloaked your selfishness in a larger ideological veneer. And that's what socialism does. It tries to say that we're all brothers and we all love each other. We all want the same thing. That's what Mondami is saying. But look at Mondami himself. He comes from one of the more affluent families in New York. His father is an endowed professor. It's very well compensated, hardcore Marxist, pro-Hamas. His mother is a multi-million-dollar filmmaker. He grew up in affluence. He lives in a rent-controlled apartment, even though by any standard he would be qualified as a wealthy person and doesn't need a state subsidy and could do better to give that apartment to someone with less means. So my point is that socialism destroys private initiative. If you think the harder you work, the better ideas you have, the more efficiency you can create in your business or in your own life, but you're not going to be compensated more than someone who does not either show those traits or doesn't want to show those traits, or just simply says, live and let live, I just want to stay in my house, watch TV and get pizza, and he will get the same amount as you do in terms of cars or housing or federal supplements. It doesn't work. We have one last more controversial proof that it doesn't work.
Victor David
Since the
Hansen.
Obama age, the rate of socialist practices, policies, agendas in the United States have vastly accelerated. And after the Obama presidency, the rather esoteric political term red state, blue state became commonplace. And it basically denotes those states who are more socialist and those states that are more free market. California is a socialist state in the sense that we're talking like New York, a 13 plus income tax rate at the highest rates.
Hey, Leslie.
We have the highest gas and oil prices, natural gas and oil. We have the highest energy prices. We have some of the highest housing prices. The same is true of New York. The same is true of Minnesota, Michigan, all of these states. Why? Because the central
4 miles
government,
at my age is not a short walk anymore.
First of all, it goes after the opposition, and most of these states are one-party state without a viable opposition to keep it in check. Number two, the people who have created this socialist system are not subject to it themselves. If you look at California, it's the Nancy Pelosi's, the Barbara Boxers, the late Dianne Feinsteins, the Jerry Browns, the Gavin Newsoms. They all have one thing. Nancy Pelosi, they all have one thing in common. They were very, very wealthy. They lived lives completely distinct, separate from the masses whom they said would benefit from their socialist policy. And the result is they took a paradise like California and turned it into purgatory. So there's no
they've done that to New York too.
Empirical evidence, whether within the United States or abroad,
used to be the Empire State,
that there's a socialist cure for what socialism has done. Mondami has basically taken a New York under Bill de Blasio and prior mayors that was a socialist paradigm and is in dire straits, and he thinks more socialism will cure it. One final observation. In the Western world, we say that the Europeans are more advanced. Some people naively think that. They were socialists. They had the VAT tax. They had higher inheritance taxes and income taxes at one time than we did. I'm not sure that's still true, but they governed every aspect of the economy. And of course, if you object to socialism or communism, and who wouldn't, the state then has to come in and restrict free speech. So what we're seeing in Europe today is disastrous policies, importing poor illegal aliens with antithetical political, religious, cultural, social views than the Europeans themselves, and then suggesting that if anybody complains, they're guilty of racism and suppressing their free speech. And meanwhile, the idea is everybody is going to get a flat and a high-rise, take mass transit, and be about the same. Are people happy? No. As we speak, there are right-wing, if I could use that term, conservative free market governments in places like Hungary, the Czech Republic, Italy, and growing in places like Britain, Netherlands, Austria,
Japan.
There are, and France itself. The opposition who opposes socialism is gaining, and the people are behind it. Why? Is it because they don't know socialism? No, it's because they know it all too well. Thank you very much.
Yep, he's totally right on that. Now, here's a leftist thinking we owe her every bit of money and more. Watch this.
Life just freaking happened, and we are going through financial hell. We haven't even been able to secure housing this month, even though we have been only living in this apartment for 2 months. My videos are reaching no one. We are nowhere near the $999 we need to pay for rent this month. And the only reason that we have enough food is because my husband is a chef and he can make a meal out of anything. And a lot of people are here on the internet saying the most out-of-pocket shit to
about a little part-time job yourself.
People who are already struggling, to people who churches are denying aid to. Do you really think that as parents we don't feel crappy enough?
They'll give you food, but they probably won't be able to pay your rent. There's other people that have to pay for that.
You don't think that I look at my children throughout the day and I just want to scream at the top of my lungs? No person in their right mind has children to live off of the government. And truthfully speaking, most of these assistances are not enough. They're not enough. And then you have politicians that are like the light at the end.
Well, you can kind of thank them for driving up all the costs by bringing all these illegals in and printing tons of money to make the money worthless.
Of a very dark tunnel, like Zoran Mandami, saying, hey, I'm going to increase the tax on billionaires in New York, people that make $1 million or more a year for 2% by 2%.
And those people own companies and this and that. How much do you think that what they'll do to recoup the money that they're losing? They'll raise the rates of everything they sell, causing our standard of living to go down.
And people started saying the most Islamophobic shit I've ever heard in my life. Meanwhile, a mosque in Tennessee was the only place willing to give a woman baby formula. And it wasn't true. It was an experiment, but it doesn't matter. They were the only ones willing to give this woman formula. How is our morality so warped?
The nose piercing kind gives it away.
We are broken. Just as a society, as living beings in this planet, we are broken. I didn't want to cry anymore on the internet. I didn't. I really didn't. But I'm just so fucking defeated. I am so defeated.
She's doing this to try to raise money, I bet. I wouldn't be surprised if they've got money and they're just getting more that way. All right, here's someone that's proud to be an American that came here about 25 years ago, legally.
I moved over here from Brazil, and I'm pretty much Americanized by now, in case you can't tell. It's been over 25 years. I'm now a proud American citizen, and I have worked hard to adopt this country as my own and become a valuable part of this community.
Sounds like she lives in Texas.
Let me introduce you to this word, which means to adopt something as one's own and become a part of it, which is what's supposed to be your job as an immigrant. So that means that I can come over here and introduce you to some cool stuff like Guaraná and Farofa, but I'm not supposed to be coming over here and be an invasive species. That's not the reason I came. I came here to be one of you. If I thought Brazil was so much better, I would have stayed there. Someone explain to me why I am expected to respect and abide by everyone else's customs, literally everywhere else in the world, everywhere else I go except here. Oh, but some people are fighting political persecution. Okay, well, if your land and your country and your culture and all that's so much better than we are, then you stay there and you figure it out and you fix it. That sounds like a you problem. Basically put, if you're not coming over here to assimilate like me, then you need to stay right where you are. Period. Full stop.
Yep. Well said. Why don't I do the truck driver one next? Here we go.
Are you gonna drive this?
Yeah.
You can't drive it.
A few moments ago.
You got a big diesel spill on the windshield's cracked and you broke your mirror. It's not drivable.
Okay.
Yeah.
He wants to drive the tractor? Can't understand the guy. I think he thinks he could just drive it away.
Yeah, I stopped caring a long
can't
time ago.
disconnect it yet. You're not going to drive
There's so many out there, scamming too. They're doing this and they actually got a lot of money and they're getting all the EBT crap and all that. Yeah, she sounds Texan, really.
We're going to tow. I just got off the phone with the boss. We're going to tow everything to Almonte. Everything. Almonte.
Yep. Here's a Burger King employee engaged after a customer misgenderment. Watch this.
What is your
This
name?
is a trans thing.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Lily.
Okay, and you're stating that you called me sir, correct?
Actually, you called me young man, and I politely corrected you multiple times.
You don't get to correct me. I will address you as what I see. I have no obligation whatever to enter. Yes, you do, sir. Unless, of course, Burger King, unless Burger King has a policy to behave this way to their clients. Maybe they do. We will find that out. Hello.
Can I help you?
Yes, ma'am, Kathy Brown. And you are the manager?
I'm actually one of the owners, but we have no video
Good.
recording, so I'll be more than happy to help you, but you can't record us.
Oh, I'm a First Amendment lawyer, and I can definitely record you. Absolutely. I want to file a formal complaint. Okay. I have been a patron of, Burger King for many, many years. Mm-hmm. And I came here, I always received nothing but excellent service. But I came here today, I had a coupon, and I ordered what I ordered. And one of the things was accidentally left out, not a problem. Okay. I came back around to get it. Mm-hmm. And I thanked the young man who waited on me, and I said to him, "Thank you, young man." When I did so, when I came back the second time, he became very angry, and he said, "I'm not a young man." Okay? I said, "Sir, I call you what I see." He said, "Well, in that case, thank you, sir."
Thanks, Angela.
And shut the window. Now, I am clearly a woman, and I have no obligation, as you know, ma'am, to call him whatever he thinks he's supposed to be called. And I cannot imagine that Burger King has a policy that when their customers have this sort of interaction and they're supposed to be responded to angrily and on purpose called sir and yelled at because he did. Well, I did that to you because you called me the wrong sex. Is that Burger King's policy to treat
I will have a conversation with Miss Lily, who was the young lady that was in the drive-thru.
She is not a young lady. You're free to think. You're free to think she is, and I'm free not to.
And I will address her because we do not condone being rude to our guests. So you're right. So that was inappropriate. Her retaliation because she was upset was inappropriate, and I will address that, okay?
Thank you.
You mean he?
I'm glad to know that your policy is not to
Why are you hiring them if they won't go by the gender they were born as?
Insult your clients.
Yeah, our policy is not to insult, but we just hope our guests don't insult our team members either.
I beg your pardon, madam. Do you find that I insulted this individual?
No, I do not, but I'm going to ask you to leave because we do this as private property.
Yeah.
I do have the right to ask you to leave.
That's cool. One more thing, ma'am. Who is your director? To whom do you report?
I'm the owner. I'm Kimberly Byer with Kansas King Inc.
Kimberly Byer. Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
It's the only way that bullshit's going to stop, to tell you the truth. There's Puddin'. You guys follow her a lot. She's really good.
Do you folks feel good about yourself, like when you're walking around and you see someone with like military dog tags or some stupid fucking vet hat or whatever, and you go, "Oh, thank you for your service."
All right, look, miss, I guess I'm special. Come sit down, sugar, okay? Because I need to explain something to you that clearly your brain didn't download. You got online to tell people like me that we're stupid.
Good one,
for telling veterans.
Islam.
Thank you for your service.
Drive-through window.
Okay. And girlfriend, you said that with your whole daggum chest like it made sense. Because, sweetheart, the only thing that is stupid is you in that video. These men and women willingly went and signed their name on that line, basically saying that my life is no longer mine, and I'm willing to lay it down for dumb people online like you. You obviously don't know what kind of guts that takes, what kind of backbone you have to have, what kind of selflessness, because obviously your personality has never once encountered that. And I can speak from experience on this. My husband did 3 tours, not 3 vacations, not 3 Target runs, 3 deployments where people shot at him for just existing. He has buried friends who served to protect your freedom to get online and openly and publicly embarrass yourself. You wouldn't last 5 minutes in the life of a veteran. You would fall faster than a Dollar Tree lawn chair. We thank them
on spot
because they
every time.
chose courage. We thank them because they gave up willingly time, safety, peace, and sometimes even their lives. And God forbid if America ever had to depend on somebody like you to protect our freedom, we would be speaking another language by dinner. Before you ever speak about a veteran again, I want you to go find a freaking mirror and look at it and ask yourself, what have I ever sacrificed for this country? I'll answer it for you. Not a damn thing. Let me end it here. Veterans don't need your approval. They're not out here looking for your validation. And they sure as hell don't need nor want your dumbass opinions. God bless our veterans. And to every veteran out there, thank you for making that sacrifice and having that courage.
Yep. All right, here's a little short one. This is a patriot that was flying the flags, and the leftists had a fit about this.
You wanna be bad, just
I heart ice raids. I guess the left was having a fit online about that. Pretty bad. All right, here's Sidewalk Steve interviewing some people about they were protesting against the D1 swimmers being dudes.
Hi there, here I am with Paula Scanlon and Representative Sam Farrington. And where are
She's
we
Olympics
doing?
So we're here in UNH in
collegiate
Durham, New
swimmer.
Hampshire tonight. Paula Scanlon came up from New York City, and she's going to share her story with us, how she was censored, what she fought against while she was at UPenn on the women's swim team. And she's just speaking to students, sharing her message, not expecting any protesters tonight, but we'll see what we end up with.
I should be on tomorrow at 6 p.m.
It's very nice for
Eastern.
you to
6 p.m. Eastern, I plan to be on.
come here. How much are you traveling?
A decent amount. This year is probably a little bit less than last year, obviously with the presidential race. But I'm locally from New England, originally from Connecticut. Used to swim up here in New Hampshire all the time. So I'm really grateful to be back here. I always love coming to familiar states. I've traveled.
I guess a lot of leftists really had a fit online about that.
Across the country to talk to people about this issue, but this is really my home area, so I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful that there are people like you guys that have similar viewpoints, because I know many of the people I grew up with are definitely a little bit brainwashed and don't necessarily agree with the concept that men are men and women are women.
So when you come and you talk to people, what's your target audience? Are you thinking of parents? Are you thinking of other girls? Are you thinking about state representatives like my friend Sam? Who are you trying to reach?
I think really everyone overall with the message, but when we're on college campuses, the focus is definitely younger people and college students. I know that every time I go to a college campus, there are many people who are in the audience that are very, very supportive of what I believe, and not even just the women's sports issue, but really everything. But they're not comfortable telling their friends that. They're not comfortable being vocal about that on their campus. So if anything, just giving them the support that they need to know that they're not alone. I know how I felt on my college campus even before they put a man on my team and how I had conservative viewpoints, and I didn't feel comfortable sharing that with many people that I knew because of how radically left-leaning the university was, and also just generally people in our age group are.
So both of you get out and you talk about gender ideology, and you talk about people being afraid. Do you think you're moving any other people to speak up?
You can answer.
Well, here on the college campus, I mean, just in the past year, the tides have shifted so far. Started with President Trump in the 2024 election, and then with Charlie Kirk's assassination. But the whole conservative, center-right movement has just grown exponentially. And like I said, started a year ago, and it was because the left was pushing this idea of, race.
Now we're gonna get voter ID and start winning these elections in the local races.
And gender, and that you can change genders, and that men and women have no differences, and that, it's just it's so far radical that it's not appealing to the middle person. And most people are reasonable, smart people, and they understand that those ideologies are not attractive. They're actually destructive.
Definitely.
Paula, I take it that not everyone agrees with you when you go out to speak. Is that fair to say?
Definitely. But I think that the importance here is the majority of people do agree with this. I think when you talk to people that don't, it's a very small minority
Some are
of people
afraid
in
to
this
say
country and even
anything.
in the world. I mean, this is
Well,
really a global
the polling
issue.
shows that too.
Exactly. And I know a lot of people that I know from my personal life that, again, growing up in a liberal, very liberal state, that tell me that they hate every single viewpoint that I have, but they can see where I come from on this one. And so I think that shows me really it's not an issue that should be divisive, but it really is an issue
I
that's
hear you,
unifying, where we
Mr.
can
Fixer.
have Democrats and Republicans alike. And when we go and look at the
Emotional
states,
support.
we've been able to pass legislation on this issue. There have been Democrats that have come and voted on the other side. And I think that that's something that's
Probably
really
have sore
interesting that you
feet for
don't
a few
see
days.
often, especially since this world is becoming more and more partisan.
So we actually had one or
No
two
one can give you a
Democrats
ride,
vote with
Mr.
us on
Fixer?
some of the legislation protecting minors, just specifically minors under the age of 18. And Steve, you know who they are, but they faced backlash and like they were kicked out of their party, and they like one guy had his seat in the House removed and he got thrown to the back. But the Democrat Party of today, if you disagree with them, they will silence you. They will kick you out because they want to control the narrative, and they want to push this radical gender ideology that's crept into every sphere of public life. And the average person knows it doesn't work. So it's being rejected in large ways.
Paula, when people do object to you, what are their objections? Where do they push back?
Yeah, a lot of the times it doesn't really make sense. I'm a logical person, and I know you guys both are too. And I try to think through maybe why somebody thinks the way that they think, right? When I hear these things, I'm oftentimes told I'm racist. I mean, I feel like that's something that this is hand in hand in being racist. If you don't support someone who says that they're a
Gabby
woman,
has to give you
are
permission, huh,
inherently
Mr.
racist,
Fixer?
and it's white supremacy, and you're, all of these different things that don't really make sense. And the other thing that they've just pushed is just saying that, it's a spectrum, right? They're saying there's no such thing as man and woman. There's a spectrum. Some days you wake up and you feel more masculine or feminine, and that's the other argument that they make. And it's a binary. I'm sorry. It absolutely is.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry.
Every single person who's alive right now that's protesting me or on my side or anywhere in between came from a man and a woman. And I don't think we need any more evidence than that. And it's just so funny that they're trying to do these studies and saying, oh, these are how men and women are different. When again, it's like they're literally different and they've made human beings. And that reason is why we all exist and why we can even have this conversation. So it's a very interesting thing, but again, it's not really rooted in science, and they always say trust the science, but the science says men are men and women are women.
So for all our friends that are on social media, and maybe they'll indicate that they like this,
Give me an M.
but they're not involved otherwise, what's your suggestion for people getting more involved? Do they have an obligation to get involved?
Or forgiveness.
I'd say so. I mean, not to be overly involved, not to come do an interview with you or come stand on the street and all the wonderful work that you do, Steve, that I see online. And I wouldn't even want to do because you're just outstanding, or even you serving in the government locally and or federally. But I think it's important to have these conversations. And the one thing I'll say is when I left my corporate job,
they're very rabid on the left.
A couple of years ago to work in politics. There were so many people in my office that came up to me and said, I 100% agree with you on many of your political beliefs, but I was too afraid to ever say anything about it to anyone sooner. And I think that that's sort of where we fall short and why we're in the situation that we're in. Is the majority of people agree. We're all on the same page here, but people aren't willing to start that conversation. So what I advise everyone, whether you're a college-age person, a parent, a grandparent, or whatever, is to just be comfortable saying that. Saying, hey, did you see this crazy story about a man competing on this team or in the locker room? I don't think it's right. And when you say that to someone else, they'll actually say back to you like, oh, I didn't know that you felt that way, and I also agree. And so you're sort of enabling the conversation to begin, but also telling the people around you that it's okay for them to share that viewpoint. And I think that goes a really long way. And I think that's where, again, how is it that 80% of us agree or more and we got into this situation? It's because people aren't willing to put themselves out there and start that conversation.
Representative Harrington, last year we got some really good laws passed through the last legislative session. Is there anything that people can do to support lawmakers like you that are taking this stand?
Just speak the truth. I mean, Paul said it, start the conversation, speak the truth. You got to fight for the truth. We're on the winning side because we are literally speaking the truth. Like, we have nothing to worry about. We're going to get the pushback. We're going to get the backlash, but in the end, we're going to win. And so the ways to support us, support your local legislatures here in New Hampshire, get into those county committees, go make the conversations, the phone calls, do the door knocking. And if we keep that movement,
Maine's another place that's very pro-trans with the government there, but the people aren't.
Up, we're gonna build our movement, and we're gonna win in 2026 and 2028, and then we're gonna defeat these dangerous ideologies here in New Hampshire.
All right, this is from Chicago Flips Red. I've had this lady on my channel a couple times a while back.
You as Black Americans, you've been voting blue no matter who for 60 years, and you give them 90 to 95% of your vote. What have you gotten? Look at your communities. Look at your schools. Look at our economic resources. We let foreigners come over here.
They are, I agree. She was well spoken too.
All in our community, and we own nothing. We're lowest economically. Happens that happen when foreigners come over here off our plight and come in, and that now they're doing their economic growth is over the Black Americans. Under our plight, they use our plight, what our ancestors died for, the civil rights. Foreigners use that to get ahead, yet and still Black Americans, we're the lowest with everything. We have not grown since the civil rights movement, but 1% economically. But you vote blue no matter who. But what did the Democrats show you? They came in and prioritized illegal aliens over you, gave you free everything, and told you they didn't have it. For y'all that asking for reparations, where your reparations at? Your reparations was some money they gave the trillions of dollars the government gave to the illegal aliens, the Democratic Party. So,
and who they fighting for right now?
Who they're fighting for right now? They came in and gave illegal aliens, as Biden spent trillions of dollars on illegal aliens, giving them free food, free schooling, free busing, free housing. And your community, we have in Chicago, mass shootings every other day with Black Americans. And what did your Democratic Party tell you? All Brandon Johnson gave you was crime is down.
Kirk, you gotta keep doing that until they figure it out.
And told you it's nothing to see here. While you're dying in masses, and while they made sure during the 94 crime bill, Biden made sure he took the Black fathers out of home, that mass incarceration, yet they're right now telling and fighting to keep illegal alien families together while they tore yours apart and still tearing yours apart as a Black man. All of our Black men in jail. What about the Black men that's in jail that was incarcerated and now you're finding out they were innocent? Can you spend that money on those resources? What about that? But they don't care about you. But they come every 4 years to get your vote, and you blindly vote blue and not educating yourself on policies. That's why I became a Republican. When I was a Democrat, but when I educated myself on policies and understood what was really going on, it was no way I could ever align myself with the Democratic Party again.
Amen. Yeah, she's pretty good. I saw her. I hope she runs for office at some point and can win in Chicago area. I don't know. All right, I'm going to end with this one. This is Trump signing the bill to reopen the government. I wanted to make sure I got this in here. This is pretty good. I'm going to end with this. Trump
in the Oval.
I should be back on tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to do mostly on the ICE raids. I can't get enough of watching that stuff. The left melting down on it. That's terrible.
Office about to reopen officially the government. Let's check in.
Well, thank you very much. This is a big day tonight.
40 acres and a mule. Right. Trump, Lincoln had it right back then, really. And it would have gone exactly to the ones that were harmed. That's who should get anything.
Shut down the government of the United States in an attempt to extort American taxpayers for hundreds of billions of dollars for illegal aliens and people that came into our country illegally. from gangs, from prisons, from mental institutions. They
Yeah,
wanted to pay them $1.5 trillion, which would have really hurt our healthcare businesses and our recipients
You mean meat bucks?
at
I'm not
levels
sure what
never
that
seen
is.
before. Today, we're sending a clear message that we will never give in to extortion, because that's what it was. They tried to extort. The Democrats tried to extort our country. In just a moment, I'll sign a bill exactly like we asked Democrats to send us all along, many days ago. This cost the country $1.5 trillion, this little excursion that they took us on. Republicans never wanted a shutdown and voted 15 times for a clean continuation
Is it deer season yet? I think it's about right now, isn't it?
of funding.
Hunting,
There's never been a
it is
time
New
when
York, though.
one or the other party ever didn't sign a continuation. It's just a continuation, not a big deal. It's a continuation, and we'll talk later. Yet the extremists in the other party insisted on creating the longest government shutdown in American history.
You helped them with the taxes,
and they
and
did it purely for
gave it to them
political
when they
reasons. I
passed,
want to
huh?
thank Speaker Mike Johnson, Senate Majority Leader John Thune, as well as House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, Majority Whip Tom Emmer, and numerous other great
It was nice of him,
Republican
John.
leaders and congressmen and senators who are here and frankly spent a long time in Washington getting this thing to go away. I also want to thank the
Angela, tomorrow my whole show is going to be pretty much all about the ice raids and stuff like that, especially Dearborn. Yeah, that would be a very tough area to do it in, though. They have to go in with some serious numbers in Dearborn, Michigan. Is it? They would get violent trying to stop. Yeah, and it's going to be hard to pick them up. Pick out which ones. Actually, probably half of them are illegals.
broad coalition of Americans that stood with us in this fight to reopen government, including the Teamsters, the American Federation of Government Employees,
Thanks,
the
Marianne.
Fraternal Order of Police,
Tomorrow will be on the
AMVETS, the
ice raids.
National Small Business
A lot of good
Association,
ones.
the American Farm Bureau, the American Trucking Association. These are all incredible patriots. The Airlines for America, the Allied Pilots Association, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, and many other unions and non-unions. Over the past 7 weeks, the Democrats' shutdown has inflicted massive harm. They caused 20,000 flights to be canceled or delayed.
Angela, you're out in California. Are you seeing many ice raids there? And how much fighting back are they doing? Are they ramming cars like they are in Chicago and stuff? At Portland too.
They departed so many times, so late. People were hurt so badly. Nobody's ever seen anything like this one. This was a no-brainer.
Yeah,
This was an easy
Michigan.
extension. But they didn't want to do it the easy way. They had to do it the hard way. And they look very bad, the Democrats do. They deprived more than 1 million government workers from their paychecks and cut off food stamp benefits for millions
I
and
think you
millions
do.
more Americans in need.
National Guard.
They caused tens of thousands of federal contractors and small businesses to go
Everyone
unpaid.
see there was some judge letting them back out, and letting them all back out, with like retainers or some stupid thing. That so they can pick them up later or something. They won't report back.
And the total effect of
You have to
the
go catch 'em
damage
again.
their antics caused will take weeks and probably months to really calculate accurately, including the
Wasn't it like 600 or something he let out? I don't know. Then they said, well, we're going to pick up another 1,300 every time he keeps doing that.
serious harm that they did to our economy and to people and to families. So I just want to tell the American people you should not
Supposedly, Trump is, they're hiring probably in January. They'll have many more on the street. I forget exactly how many, a lot.
forget this when
Vice
we come
agents.
up to midterms and other things. Don't forget what they've done to our country. I also want to call for a termination to the filibuster so that this can never happen again. If we had the filibuster terminated, this would never happen again. And don't forget, we have another date coming up in the
I
not
agree
too
on the
distant
parasite
future. We
thing,
can
yeah.
never let this happen again. And we should be able to pass really great legislation. So I say terminate the filibuster because, by the way, the
The best legislation they can pass right now is cutting the size of government and get our elections for real, so they can't cheat.
Democrats will do it immediately if they ever assumed office, which hopefully they won't. Today we had the highest stock market price ever in all of the different markets. We set a record.
When this was recorded, the stock market hit 48,000. It's back down to 47 something right now, but it'll get back there. It bounces around.
It's the 48th time in the 9 months that I've been in office that we had this record set. So think of that.
Angela, with my dealing with tracking him and this and that, a lot of the ones that want to die is because they want to be famous. They want people to know who it was that did it when they kill infidels like us and stuff like that. And they see anyone that's not extreme like them. They'll kill other Muslims, if they're not as extreme as they are.
48 times. We had a record set, but today is the highest of them all. We're going to break new grounds. Nobody would have thought. I have with us not only the great political leaders, but the great business leaders of our country. They're standing right behind me and right really alongside of me. And if we would have told them,
so they're thinking of sex when they die,
a year ago that we'd be having stock prices this high, none of them. In fact, I just asked them that question. None of them would have believed it. And that inures to jobs and, very importantly, to 401ks, which have also set a record today, a record high for the people that have 401ks. And also, I want to thank Walmart because they came up with a fantastic study. It was the cost of Thanksgiving coming up and the cost of Thanksgiving from a year ago under Sleepy Joe Biden. And we're 25% lower this year than we were a year ago. And it's a very inclusive report. So I want to thank Walmart. They've done it for many years.
Is it dangerous there?
We believe in that. We believe in that company. I want to also
Angela, is there a lot of Islam there?
So thank the 8 Senate Democrats who finally did the right thing in voting to end this craziness.
I know New York City is getting very heavy that way, but their birth rates are crazy. They have four kids. They don't work. They're collecting all the welfare benefits on every one of their kids, every one of their wives.
It's madness, but unfortunately, the vast majority of congressional Democrats were happy for millions of Americans to suffer. They really did suffer too.
Angela. Yeah, I'm sure because they never get to see him without the burqas on him.
And the Democrats admitted, they said, well, no, we finally have a point. Even though people have to suffer, we finally have a point. And that didn't work out too well for them. But they really went out and they could appease the fringe benefits of their far left base. But that didn't work out because now their far left base is angrier than ever before. We actually elected a mayor of New York City who happens to be a communist. When was that going to happen? Remember, I said all the time during my campaign, we will never be a socialist
same thing
country. And that's right. We turned out to have a communist in New York City. And if you look at his views, those are the views of a communist, not a socialist. So this is no way to run a country. I hope we can all agree that the government should never be shut down again. End the filibuster, terminate the filibuster. It'll never happen again. So with my signature, the federal government will now resume normal operations, and my administration and our partners in Congress will continue our work to lower the cost of living, restore public safety, grow our economy, and make America affordable again for all Americans. Again, costs are way down. Energy is way down. Gasoline is at $2.50 a gallon versus $4.70 for the Democrats. And we think we're going to hit pretty close to $2 a gallon. That's like a really massive tax cut. It's the equivalent of that. And speaking of tax cuts, our great, big, beautiful bill is giving every.
I wonder who came up with that whole virgin thing to get them, probably to get them all to fight and kill themselves for them. I don't know. And for them to buy that crap.
Everybody in our economy, middle income workers, low income, everybody, the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. And it's no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, and very importantly, no tax on overtime. You work overtime.
Some of those purple hair ones are now wearing the hijabs and all that crap in New York. It's insane.
No tax. That's among the things that add up to the biggest tax cut in history. One other thing, you hear about rich people with deductions. Well, when you buy your car and you borrow money, you're allowed to now deduct the interest on that loan. So you can take that interest deduction and what you can take is that interest payment and deduct it for income tax purposes. That's a tremendous tax cut right there. But it all includes fixing the healthcare system the Democrats broke with the disaster known as Obamacare. Obamacare was a disaster from day one. It's done nothing but go up. And if you remember President Barack Hussein Obama, when he came up with this crazy idea, he said,
does that work out better? I buying online to me, I'd like to see that what I'm buying, because sometimes I don't get, Angela, exactly what it looks like in the picture or stuff like that. I guess you got to know what you're buying if you buy that way.
Everything's going to be great. Rates are going to go down. Payments are going to go down. Everything's going to go down. It went the exact opposite with the biggest increase of healthcare in any country. It's a disaster. And I'm calling today for insurance companies not to be paid, but for the money, this massive amount of money, to be paid directly to the people of our country so that they can buy their own health care, which will be far better and far less expensive than the disaster known as Obamacare. And I've had, I think, great support. I've even had Democrat support. So we want the money that would be going to the insurance company, which is hundreds of billions of dollars. You know, their stock prices have gone up by 1,000% in many cases, 1,000% over a short.
He's right about this. He wants to do healthcare saving plan type things where money would go into this account until you use it. And it's an account for you set aside for that, for you decide what gets paid out.
Period of time, because our country stupidly pays them so much money with this Obamacare scandal. So I want the money to go directly to you, the people.
Good, Mr. Fixer. It's not possible
here. You go out and you buy your
live.
Own health insurance, and you'll
It's even hard to
negotiate
get
different plans, and you get much better insurance, and you will be an entrepreneur for yourself. So I'm always willing to work with anyone, including the other party. We'll work on something having to do with healthcare. We can do a lot better. We can do great. So much money is involved, and we're willing to pay so much money to the people. So we're going to pay a lot of money to the people. They're going to go out and buy their own healthcare, and we're going to forget this Obamacare madness. So with all of that, I just want to tell you the country has never been in.
And the other thing we got to stop when you have those types of accounts and the whole thing about the trans and us paying for it, that's not going to happen.
Better shape. We went through this short-term disaster with the Democrats because they thought it would be good politically.
You're right.
And it's an honor now to sign this
100%
incredible bill and get our country working again. Thank you.
Now, are they gonna, when the Democrats get back in power, they're gonna reverse all this and start handing out money to the insurance companies again, because they'll pay the people to get them elected.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't know if you have questions. I think I think we really have a really great situation. We have a country that we love, and we have a country that's in great shape. As you know, we have
now the whole shutdown allowed them to do this.
It's over $18 trillion invested in our country by other people and countries. That's a record. There's never been a country that had so much. And that money's going into also building new auto plants, new AI plants, new everything. We've never had a time like this. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right. Well, I should be on tomorrow about 6 p.m. Eastern, okay? I'm going to do it on the ice raids primarily. I got some other clips too and stuff like that. But I'll see you all tomorrow. Let me get back to this page so I can close this. Take care. God bless everyone. Bye-bye.